Hello and welcome to Moving Pictures.
Hey, so.
Predacon Doug. I'm your host, Predacon Paul.
Decepticon Doug.
And this is the show.
Yeah, this is where we're talking about that movie that we rented from Black Dog Video, Frogs. It was not amazing. This film falls into the eco-horror category that kind of existed in the 70s. This is what, 1972 was it?
72, yeah.
Starring Sam Elliott.
Without a mustache.
Yeah, who's best known for being the cowboy with the mustache in every movie that needs a cowboy with a mustache.
Yeah, he's got the best mustache.
Yeah, no, it is a fabulous, like, just full-bodied mustache. But not in this movie. Mm-hmm. And man, you really miss it.
Okay, so if we had to describe this movie in any way, I would say it's probably the movie that inspired Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you've seen that movie, fantastic. If you haven't seen it,
oh yeah,
watch it.
Well, it's a great parody of slasher flicks and you know, teens going out and getting in trouble kind of flicks.
Getting themselves killed.
Yeah.
Like they literally throw themselves into
wood chippers
and stuff and like impale themselves. And it's hilarious because in the context of that movie, it's comedic and these people think that they're like preemptively like attacking these, in their minds, would-be killers.
Yeah.
But in this movie, Frogs, it's like it suffers from taking itself so seriously.
I think the biggest issue is that there's really not much of a story. Essentially, photographer is his stuff is wet and knocked over by a rich family's boat, and so they take him in, and then they want to celebrate Independence Day in the most woo America way possible.
America.
And it's implied.
By playing polo and.
Yeah, it's implied that they haven't been kind to the local ecosystem, but I really actually didn't even get much sense of that. I think I just read it and was like, oh, okay. Oh, except the kids. The kids, I think, were blowing up frogs with firecrackers, so maybe they're asking for it. But then it's just sort of a series of people wandering off all by themselves, and then like kind of falling into traps that really like you'd have to be really dumb to fall into any of these traps.
It's hilarious. There's one guy in particular who he gets killed by the vines on the trees and all the spiders. Mm-hmm. Probably the most horrifying death. But he shoots himself in the knee with his shotgun. Yeah. Somehow he's walking along and then he just blasts himself. And then he falls over and then the vines and then the spiders and then...
Don't forget the lady chasing the butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the butterfly basically leads her into... actually, she just got kind of killed by everything. Like, she just kept going, oh!
Yeah, and like rolling around in the puddle.
And it's like...
And snakes would bite her and lizards would get her.
Although the funniest might be the turtle. The lady who gets stuck in the mud, she's like, oh no! And then a turtle's like... Ironically, like, the movie's called Frogs. It's implied that the frogs are the killers, but frogs don't really kill anybody except maybe the last guy. But again, I think it's because you can't make frogs perform. Like, they're not actors. You can't prompt them. Like, you can train a cat or train a dog, but you can't train a frog. So mostly this frogs just kind of watch everything happen. I think it's trying to imply that they're like the masterminds kind of instructing all the other animals or something.
Yeah.
But really, the humans are doing most of the work to kill themselves.
Yeah. I mean, these people were dead.
Yeah, no.
You didn't need the frogs.
I think that if they didn't get killed by the nature around them, they probably would have burnt down their house with the fireworks.
Probably.
They're like, oh, and then accidentally locked all the doors in the house and they're trapped in a room and they all burn to death and die. Really, the frogs are doing them a favor and taking them out one by one.
And the old guy is he's hell-bent on having this perfect American traditional 4th of July holiday.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many people die.
He will have this American holiday. He will have an independence celebration if it kills him. He has to have it.
Yeah.
To the point it just escapes all logic. It's like, so they find, like, so he's dead. And he's like, well, you know, like, these things happen, but I'm not letting anything stand in the way of my fireworks.
Get your punch bowl ready.
It's you really never get a sense of any sort of motivation for the characters, except, like, Sam Elliott, who's like the outsider, he's the photographer, and he seems like just as stumped as the audience. He's like, why? What is wrong with you people? We need to get out of here. Even I don't really understand why he stuck around. Like, he didn't need to. He didn't really know any of them.
The blonde girl, they had sort of a thing, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I guess so. There was a slight romantic subplot, maybe.
But they never really expanded on it.
No.
Well, I guess the father of the house did ask him for his help. Oh, you can hang out with us for a bit.
But there's a point where it's sort of like, actually, I think I want to leave because everyone around you is dying and you don't care.
What happened to the help? Because they disappeared.
They ran off. I think they were booking it because they were just like, yeah, peace out, see you later.
Yeah, we're done.
And then I think they actually made it out.
I think they got taken out because, like, there's, like, clothing and then their stuff is left behind, but just they're missing.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you don't even really get to see what happens to them.
No. Which can be an effective way of telling a story. I mean, the mystery, you know, what happened to them is probably the most interesting part of this particular film.
Yeah. I think everything we don't see is the most interesting part. Because it's either that or we just get more and more deaths of people wandering around going like, how am I going to die? Oh no! Oh, I fell into a crocodile's mouth! Oh God!
Yeah. You could tell that they really, 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 really tried to make the frogs menacing. Mm-hmm. And so, like, they even have the turtle sitting there with, like, the frogs on top of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's, like, implying that it's like, onward ho, turtle.
You go get her. You kill her, turtle. You kill her.
They do their best, but I mean, in the end, you just get these, like, close-ups of turtles with this, like, scary, like, foreboding music.
Of frogs.
Yeah, frogs.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, ominous music and, like, close-ups and dark shadows can really only do so much for frogs, which are just sitting there like
yeah,
with their eyes wide. And
what's funny is they imply that the frogs are, you know, working as a team, right?
Right.
And if you could make the frogs all, like, travel in, like, formation or something, then that's one thing, right? You could see some sort of, like, organizational skill there. But, like, frogs are frogs. Frogs are just going to do frogs. So in this film, you can tell someone just, like, got a bucket of frogs and just dumped them all out, and then they just sort of, like, hop off in whatever direction they want to.
It's true, yeah. There's no rhyme or reason to frog actions.
They're just like,
frogs just be frogs, man. That's what it comes down to.
Frogs be frogging, and yeah, these.
And this is why we can never have a Battletoads movie. Thanks, frogs. Anything that we liked about the movie? Well, actually, if I may, I kind of do like it in this ironic way. I can see, like, there's nothing really going for it. But I just kind of like how hard they're trying and how bad they're failing. I admire how contrived it is. Like, these deaths, like the great lengths that they had, the filmmakers had to, like, try and justify them.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you could just sort of see the crew scratching their heads trying to figure out how to make this movie work. And part of me just kind of sits there going like, oh wow, like, I'm still kind of glad the movie was made. You know, I mean, God bless it, at least it was short. It was mercifully short. Thank you.
I kind of got the sense that this movie is deserving of a sequel, you know?
Right? Okay, yeah.
Where, like, it all starts on the island, right? Mm-hmm. And then a week from now, it's like, you hear, like, a news report on, like, the radio or something, like, the whole eastern seaboard is gone. It's like, what do you mean it's gone? The frogs.
The frogs got them. And, you know, like, we can make a whole series. Frogs taking over the military.
Yeah.
Frogs.
In space.
Frogs in space. That's where it's got to go. Yeah, definitely. Just
we
follow.
Thought we were safe on Mars. We were wrong. You see like the frogs like at NASA, like mission control, like working away, like setting a rocket so that way they can go to Mars.
Here's another thing.
In little tiny froggy spacesuits.
Yeah. And again, just frogs like in the spacesuits, like just like floating around in different directions. They're like, oh, the frogs.
Close up. Bonk.
So here's another thing that I got out of this movie, in this really sort of weird way. It kind of made me appreciate M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening a lot more.
Yeah, I thought of The Happening when I was watching it too.
Because the whole concept of The Happening is that like nature is making people kill themselves. Like the plants, they're psychologically affecting people, so they literally kill themselves.
What? No.
And somebody once told me that The Happening was supposed to be an intentionally cheesy, bad movie, and I didn't really buy it. I'm like, I don't think so. I think that he was going for something and it just failed. But then I saw all the signs in frogs, like them trying to shoot frogs in a scary way, just like M. Night Shyamalan tried to shoot like trees and bushes in a scary way, and like it couldn't work. It couldn't work for frogs. It couldn't work for The Happening.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens with frogs is that you get actors who just kind of wind up killing themselves.
Yeah.
And then The Happening, the whole concept is that people are just killing themselves, and it made me go like, oh my god, maybe M. Night did know what he was doing. Maybe he was right on the nose and nobody got the joke. I'm still not sold. But it made me think. It made me think that he did know what he was doing. Again, not sure. But the fact that it made me reconsider The Happening, I think, is an achievement.
Go frogs. Now, is this movie required watching? No.
No, if you like maybe 70s B movies, like almost a literal B movie, like the B reel of the.
There's better B movies out there.
Yeah.
What this movie lacks, what this movie lacks to such an astonishing degree, is any sort of plot.
Yeah, it's true.
There's I don't buy any of the relationships with any of the characters.
No.
There's no chemistry between anyone.
If anyone has chemistry, it's the help with each other.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
They're pretty decent. But there's only so much you can do with material that.
Like a flimsy concept entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, not an important watch. I don't regret watching it though.
It wasn't cringy.
No, the thing is, it was laugh out loud bad.
Yeah.
And that is an important distinction. There's cringy bad and there's laugh out loud bad.
Yeah. There's not much to say about this movie.
No, there's not tons of substance to really dig our teeth into.
In fact, if they used a third of the footage that they got of frogs bouncing around, this movie would only be half an hour long.
It's true.
I give it one scary frog.
One scary frog it is.
So, I hope you enjoyed this show.
Yeah, thanks for watching Moving Pictures.
Moving Pictures. Send us a like, subscribe.
Yeah. Watch our other show, Beast Wars Wednesday. That's it.
That's it.
Cool.